Okay. So a peep into the future, your place in ICT, and the path to reaching it. All right, so I'll try and explain and connect all of these terms together. What is solutions architecting? What is solution development? Internet of Things, IP version 6, big data, machine language, artificial intelligence, blockchain, data centers, cloud, 5G, and what do we mean when we say the gig economy? Like I said, the objective is to help you see and choose where you would like to be in all of this. Now, the basics for ICT, basics for information communication technology is networking. Everything we'll be talking about, everything we'll be explaining is on the foundation of networking. So networking is the core of all of these technologies. And then, of course, by networking, we mean that the device, the computer, the laptop, the tablet, the mobile phone, or anything at all, is in connection with other devices in ways, whether you can see them connected physically or you don't see them, it just means that they are not standing alone. They are not standalone. So if you have a laptop in front of you and that laptop is not connected to other devices on a network, then the power of your laptop is very, very limited. In fact, it's almost useless as far as the implementation of these technologies and taking advantage of their offerings is concerned. So standalone systems have no place at all in what we are discussing. Your system, your machine would have to be in connection with other systems, with other machines. When your system is in connection with other machines within the same room, within the same office, we call that kind of network corporate network. Corporate network. So the machine is in a corporate network because it's in connection with 30, 40, 500, 700, but within the same premise. For example, an office, a corporate organization. That's why it's called corporate network. It's usually within corporate organizations, in a building, in a bank, within a building, in a software development company, within your home, in just small geographical areas. But there is a bigger kind of network where you are not connecting to just a few hundreds of other devices, or probably with thousands or millions of other devices, bigger than what you would have in your corporate network. Those kind of networks are called enterprise networks. Enterprise networks. So instead of looking at the corporate network you have on your 25-story building, comprising of about 500, 600, 700 computers, in enterprise network, you'll be looking at in connection to your application by 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 20 million other people. These other people, you may want to call them users, you may want to call them customers, whatever name you give to them. It just means that whatever service you are sharing, because the whole idea of networking is to share resources, to share services. Whatever service it is that you are sharing through your application, it is not accessed only by your corporate network, but by millions, maybe, of customers or users. So it's much bigger than a corporate network. And then, of course, you have the other kind of network called public networks. Actually, when we say public networks, the network that comes to mind is the internet. When we say public network, when we say Ethernet, it's the same thing actually, right? So that one cannot be quantified. That is the biggest kind of network connecting devices globally, everywhere in the world, all right? So when we talk about networks as it relates to these technologies we are taking a peep into, we are referring to these three different kinds of networks, mainly. Of course, you may want to break them down into other terminologies like private area network, LAN, metropolitan. That's not important. Broadly speaking, I want to classify them as these three. Also, there is a term called convergence that you should be used to. Convergence. Convergence means that everything is IP. It wasn't like that from the beginning. At the beginning, you would have to have a separate network for voice, so your telephony network. The telephony network and the company that provides telephony, the technologies that drive telephony was different from your data network. So for your telephony, for example, the kind of copper cable you use for connection is different from your copper cable, your UTP or your STP used in data network. So on your corporate networks, you would have only data networks, only data cables connecting computers typically. So there was difference between a telephone network carrying voice, a data network carrying data, which was the normal IP, and there was another kind of network called for television. So you wanted to see moving pictures, you'd have another kind of network other than those. So these were the three kinds of networks that existed before convergence. So convergence means that you are not having this network individually anymore. You don't pay a separate television bill, for example, your DSTV. That's what you use. Your DSTV, and then you don't have your Nitel or your CDMA, for example. CDMA is even IP. Let's not go like we used to have with Nitel. Nitel will be a typical example. And the technologies that existed before IP. So you will not have to pay three different kinds of bills maintaining three different kinds of network anymore. Now you would have just one data network, and your television, your data in terms of internet, what's the other one? Voice will now be carried by this single IP network. So your analog and your circuit switching technology that you use on your voice network, on your original GSM network, they are all gone. Everything now is IP. So a company like WhatsApp uses IP completely. And once one company does it, that company has invented the wheel and it's already available. That is automatically the death, the end of previous technologies. Once one company does something new, the other companies will have to copy it because nobody will go back to the old thing when a new thing is available. So as long as there is success of WhatsApp, there is success of Zoom, there is success of what are the popular ones, and the rest of them, circuit switching telephony automatically dies. As long as you cannot transmit television on YouTube, on Roku, on a lot of names now around IP, then that is the death of regular television technology like you knew it. So one network, one provider is now responsible for the provision of all of your signals. So that is the meaning of IP. The three of them have converged into one. That one uses IP. Another word of saying is a digital network. One network representing everything. All right, so that's something to bear in mind. All right. So with this background, what is then a solution architect? I hope I didn't jump anything. A solution architect. A solution architect would be the experts that work with developers. First of all, before developers develop the application, there has to be an environment. What server are we going to use? What's the capacity of the processor? How much hard disk space should the server have? What environment are we going to place the server or system? How reliable should it be? What about the availability, the scalability, the security of the server and the environment? All of this will make more sense when you get to cloud. We're not explaining the details, we're just taking a peep into it. All right. So it is the work of the solutions architect to not only determine all of these factors, but also implement it and get it ready for the solutions that we are going to develop. All right. So by the time the solutions developer arrive, the server, the database, the automation of the system in terms of once there is too much capacity for one server, another server should automatically come up and introduce load balancing. All of those details would have been taken care of by the solutions architect by the time the developer is ready to work. And this environment is typically built in cloud, not within physical enterprise infrastructure. Built in cloud, like you will be doing, you SSH into cloud. First of all, you see the cloud, you build your environment, and then once your server is ready, you are now able to SSH into your server and begin to build that server for reliability, for availability, for scalability. And beyond all of that, and more importantly, you now begin to use everything you are learning in Linux now to build that server to make it work the way that the solutions would appreciate it. All right. So there are several cloud providers that you can contract. Those facilities you can use to build this, to architect this your environment. Okay, but the three most popular of them would be Amazon Web Services as the #1 cloud provider. Then you also have Microsoft Azure. Then you have Google Cloud. Besides this, we have many others, like I said, hundreds of them. But because these are the three taking over 50% share of the market, these are the three that employers mostly use, especially in this order. We want to focus on these three. Of course, you would have Oracle and DigitalOcean and so many of them. All right. So after the solution architect has prepared the server and the environment, like more like building the network that the solutions will run, then the solutions developer would come in. And what would they do? The solutions developer will do the coding, the scripting, and assemble all the codes to form a complete software solution, a complete application. So typically, we're not talking about the job of one man here. We're talking about the job of a complete, an entire unit, IT unit. The solution development, even cloud architecting, is not just one man. It's a unit of IT. All right. So there are standards that solutions developer follow. In fact, in everything, not just solutions developer, in everything there are standards. You don't just come in and say I'm solution developer and you do things your own way. By learning these technologies, you are actually learning standards. So you know what to do under any given situation to rectify any problem, not just your own way, but the way it is done in the industry. All right. So the solution developer, maybe one person is responsible for coding, another person is responsible for script, but the real developer is the person who is able to harness all of these bits together and form a complete solution. Because a solution could have 3,000, 4,000 or more pieces. For the person, when we say developer, we're actually talking not about the coding people, even though they are under that department, but the person that is able to put all of these pieces together to form the solution. All right. The standards used for solutions development started with a concept called waterfall model. And then, of course, I'm mentioning this not because I want to dwell on them, but just for you to know that these things exist. And as an IT person, when they mention these things and you hear these things outside, you should not be, you'd have an idea what they're talking about. All right. So the models used for solutions development started. It's no longer in vogue with waterfall model. And then they moved to the agile model, also called Scrum. And now the one in vogue, which you are going to learn, will be the concept called DevOps. So as a solution developer or as somebody who works very closely with solutions developer, you must be familiar with the concept of DevOps. All right. So DevOps is what enables continuous integrations, continuous delivery. Again, you are going to be solutions. You're going to do DevOps, so this is not a major problem. So just note these names for now. There is another role called business analyst, even project manager. Now, when a business owner, the owner of the project, the application you are trying to develop, when he has this idea to develop an application, all he knows is, I want to develop an application that would automatically, what could the application do? Automatically give $1 to every Nigerian, 1 naira to every Nigerian every Nigerian that has a bank account. Every time they do business on that bank account, I want to give them 1 naira. That is what you know as the CEO, as the business owner. Now, how do you now break that down into developing application and what exactly the application will do to be able to achieve that? It's a simple statement. That kind of simple statement, this is what I want to achieve, is called high-level business objective. High-level business objective. But to be able to create an application out of your high-level business objective, you have to do a lot of work to break that down into several low-level requirements. It is these low-level requirements, 1,500, 2,000, 7,000, or maybe not at once, because you are not using the waterfall model that requires you to define everything at once at the beginning before you go and implement. You are using the agile or the DevOps model of continuous integration. You remember something, you do it, you integrate it to the system. Oh, it's working fine. You do it in iterations. I'm already teaching you. So we do them in bits, and then we assemble the bits over time. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe every 2 weeks, we just check what have we done, so that even though it's a 3-year project, you don't wait until the end of the 3 years before you say, I have done it. As you are doing it 1 year into the project, parts of the projects are already working, and you know what you have done, you know what is left. So they use that method, that concept. That kind of concept is what is called agile as compared to waterfall. But don't worry about it. So who is the person in between the business owner that knows what he wants to do, and the developers and coders that will translate that idea into application? You get the place of application. The place of application is ultimately what we want to do is we have a problem and we want to create a web application to solve that problem. That is just the idea. Sometimes the web application could be as simple as a simple website. At other times, it could be as complex as a whole set of applications working together. For example, Uber application. It's not as simple as just an application appearing. It's much more complex than that. There are so many things going on in the background. The application you see on your mobile phone is just a piece of the whole action anyway. So it is the business analyst that stands in between the business owner understanding, because an Englishman is a millionaire. He doesn't have time for all these technicalities. It's not his work. So he takes the high level business objective from the CEO and interprets it or breaks it down to low level requirements that coders will understand. And then the coders will now take it from the programmers. We call them coders, but these days they are called coders. The coders, led by the developer, will take it from there and say, okay, what they want us to do here is convert this line to A equals B, and then write a code that means A equals B. Oh, this line, they want us to say, once the income is greater than 300,000 per annum, he's not qualified. How do you interpret that as a code? They write a code. So line by line, they write codes that would implement the breakdown, the low level requirement breakdown generated from a single high level statement. You'll be amazed the volume of work that just, I want to create a program that would, yeah, let's stick with the original program. That will give every Nigerian 100 naira every month. That is a simple statement. You'll be amazed how much work there is to do to implement that program. There is so much work, considering the population, the technology that you have to have put in place, the security to make sure that, okay, once this is done, nobody can go back and hack and convert the money into their private monies. The reliability, what if the system crashes? How do you ensure? A lot of things go into all of that, go into that simple high level. So it's the business analyst work to do what? To break down the high level requirement into low level requirements. Well, I hope you get what I have tried to explain. So the business analyst does have a role in all of this, and that is closely related to the project manager. So it doesn't mean that because you're a business analyst, you just go to the project sponsor's office and get a statement and interpret it your own way. No, there are standards. So you have to learn the standards and follow them. And these standards are found in the case of business analysis book of knowledge. So you have to understand them and work at everything has standard in IT. Work according to that standard. In the case of project management also has a standard called the project management book of knowledge. So you understand how they schedule, how they do things as a project management in the standard way, so that a project manager in Nigeria is running a project exactly the same way projects are run in Canada, and that's why they are called certifications. Once you are certified, it's global. You know the best practices for these areas of specialization, whatever you are practicing in the world, right? But if it's a small project, the same person can act as business analyst and project manager. But if it's a big project, then you would have to distribute between the roles. The project management will focus on the project, ensuring that whatever it takes, everybody is on the project, resources are available, and the project is running. Whereas the business analyst will focus on the solution, ensuring that the solution is just a part of, is the real end product of the project, but it's different from the project. Everybody coming to work and making sure they are sitting, well, they may not be physically sitting, but they are just doing their bits so that the solutions, the developer can put all the pieces together. It's not the work of the business analyst, it's the work of the project manager. Making sure resources are available, everybody is working, and a lot of other things that should meet the best practices. But the business analyst this is not what, or this is what the solutions architect want. The solution, no. the business owner wants, and you are working in line with it. Or no, this is not exactly what I understand by that statement. Do this like this, do this like that, so that will achieve exactly what he means. So these are the differences between these two roles. But like I said, even though they work on the same project and they are very interrelated, they have different. Just remember that the project manager ensures the project is working, and the business analyst ensure that the end product, the real reason we have this project. If the reason you have the project is to build the house, in this case, the house is the solution, the application, then the focus of the business analyst is on the house, not on the process of building the house. All right. Now, there is another term called Internet of Things. Internet of Things, IoT. So, you know now that nodes, that is the machines on a computer, is no longer about the machines on the network, I mean, are no longer restricted to computers, laptops, tablets, cell phones, and so on and so forth. Now, because of access to technology, you now have anything actually can be a node, can be a machine on the network. Anything aside these things that you're already used to. Your refrigerator, your car, anything at all, anything, even human beings can now be nodes, can now be machine on a network. All right. So imagine that you have the chip that can connect a machine to network. Imagine that you have it on human being. So small that it can be injected into human being, preferably on the forehead of human beings, so that even as you shop and you move around the shop, instead of going to the counter with your cart at the end of your shopping for the things to be scanned manually, they will just scan you instead. Remote scanning devices, they are called RFIDs. They'll just scan you remotely without you going to the counter, and the money will be removed straight from your account of all the things that you have bought. This is already it's no longer a dream or a wish. It's actually already happening, but at a very minimal level. So someday the whole world is going to embrace it and say, yes, this is easy. This is the way we want to go. And then we would have arrived at the era that we all consider to be 666. It's just part of technology, it's part of development, and very soon we would arrive there. All right. So this area of technology that creates this integrated circuit, program them, put them on things, and use that chip, just the way you put your SIM card on your mobile phone, and by that your mobile phone is now connected to your GSM network, your 4G network. Wherever you go, you are now able to make calls through the network. By GPS, you are now seeing as far as your SIM, that chip is on the phone. So also you'd have chips that you insert on things, and by that you are able to now architect, develop cloud-based servers to enable connection through this chip of this thing on which you have inserted, in this case, maybe a human being, maybe anything, maybe your car. You now enable the connection to internet of that thing. This whole technology, from the manufacturing to the programming to the insertion of it, and especially to the configuration and management of the server by the solutions architect and by the developer to enable this to happen, because there's a server somewhere in the background. In the GSM company, that server is called a switch. But in cloud, there are servers that you will be building by yourself. So this whole idea is called the Internet of Things, IoT. So it's one area to specialize in IT. Internet of things, IoT. All right? Anything can be connected to the internet. Anything, anything, anything. It is not only possible, it's already being done. Cars are connected to the internet. Cars will drive themselves now. Okay? Everything in shops, they are connected to the internet. I mean, can be connected. They are not all yet connected. By the time we all connect, get there. But right now, the technology is already available. People are already studying and specializing in those areas, and a lot of progress is being made in that direction. That is somewhere you may want to consider specializing in future. All right. After the Internet of Things, if we say there is Internet of Things, how are machines on the internet recognized? They are recognized by special numbers called IP addresses. So machines on the internet are recognized only by special IDs called IP addresses. Then, is it not possible that if everything in the world can be connected to the internet, that would exhaust our IP addresses? How are we going to get so, because they have to be unique. It's not like names. So many people can bear the same name in the real world, and somehow they are still unique, maybe because they don't have the same surname. And even when they do have the same surname and the same name, we can introduce a third-party form of ID to distinguish between them. But in the case of machines, is it not possible that we would exhaust all our IP addresses, and therefore, even though we want to add more things to the internet, we do not have this unique ID to give them anymore? Yes, it is possible that we exhaust our IP address. With the old IP address model called IP version 4, it was possible because those were limited in the number of IP addresses they could provide. But there is a new kind of IP addressing called IP version 6. So even though you can exhaust the limited number of IP addresses by IP version 4, we cannot, the world cannot exhaust the almost unlimited number of unique IP addresses that is possible with IP version 6. So IP version 6 has been prepared. I think this started like 10 years, 12 years ago, started the preparation of IP version 6 so that we have enough IP addresses to assign to things that we want to connect to the internet. We want to connect all the human beings in the world to the internet, 7 billion of us. Are you afraid that we would exhaust the IP addresses? No. Taking 7 billion version 6 IP addresses, you are just scratching the surface. There are still many more IP addresses that you can generate from IP version. So that is the place of IP version 6. And look at an example of IP version 4, like most of you already know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 octets separated by dots. But look at example of IP version 6. So can you imagine the number of ways that you can do the permutation and combination of all of these unique numbers, 1 to 9, and unique alphabets A to Z? It's almost unlimited number of unique numbers that will come out of it. So this is what IP version 6 looks like. And you already know what IP version 4 looks like. So IP version 6 is the solution to uniquely assigning IP address to all the things that will be migrated to be part of the Internet of Things. You know, we talked about the Internet of Things earlier. During your lifetime and after you are gone, many more things will continue to join the Internet until the time when all things would, by default, be part of Internet, again, including human beings. IP version 6. All right. Remember, we're talking about the different aspects of IT. We're taking a peep into the now and the future. There is a concept in IT now. All these things already exist. It's just that we'll continue to develop them, called big data. There's a concept called big data. So if as human beings, you were going to analyze data, that is simple. You just take the data, put it on some third-party application like Excel or some application analysis software, and then you'll be able to extract info and do whatever you want to do with that information, right? Data analysis. But what about things that are connected to the internet? What about the robot, the humanoid robot called Sophia? Sophia, literally speaking, is as intelligent as a regular human being, if not more intelligent. So how is it going to get access? Because for you to be intelligent, you need to have access to a lot of resources, right? You need to have access to data, not just small data. Data, you can ask Sophia any question, he will answer you because he has access to unlimited, enormous data, massive data. Not the kind of data that humans can interpret and analyze. And no, too complex for humans to analyze even in a whole year. Yet these things, this machine that you are connected via Internet of Things should have access to data that they can analyze and draw information from. A car is in the middle of a possible accident. It needs data to analyze, to draw the correct information from as to this is the next thing to do. This is what to do right now. It's not everything that is programmed into the car. It's not everything that is programmed into human brain. The human brain, for example, because all of these things we are discussing, they are taken from life. The examples are drawn from life. So human brain and human mind has access to somewhere other than what is available within it. So also, Internet of the things that are connected by Internet of Things should have access to data that it doesn't matter what you are looking for. Just go into that heap, that massive warehouse, that massive data. Somehow look for what you are, get what you are looking for, analyze it, take the decision there, get the information, and do what you should do at that split second, instantly. So that enormous data, that volume of data that you cannot even comprehend is generally referred to as big data, as compared to the other small data that humans can analyze, draw graphs, interpret, and say, okay, because this happened, because this like this, based on this, we forecast that this is going to happen. That is small data compared to the big data that will be available for machines. All right, so that is the concept of big data, not organized, just heap of data thrown there for machines to go and access, analyze, extract, process, and then draw the tiny information that they need at that point in time to be able to know, okay, this is what I want to do now. Then they do it. If you have not already watched Sophia, the robot, the humanoid robot, go and watch Sophia and see people ask that robot questions. And you see that even though sometimes it takes a split second for you to say, oh, hold on, let me think. And then it searches the whole, blah, blah, blah. You just imagine that it's searching data and analyzing, and because it has no intelligence on its own. Everything is IT. So you would see how it accesses. I mean, you would be able to imagine how it accesses big data, analyze and draw info from there, and therefore becomes intelligent because it's able to do this thing by itself. All right, so that's the concept of big data, not small data that you can save in hard disk, in one hard disk or two hard disks, or even 1 terabyte. We're talking about the way data is available in what you would say God, or what Christians would call Holy Spirit. That kind of enormous. What are you looking for there that you cannot find? Everything that was, everything that is, everything that is to be is already there. So also is big data to things. So it's not small data. So that is where this concept of big data, how do we present this big data? How do we position it so that things on the internet will have access? How do we help them, direct them to connect them to where they will find this big data? And even though they are left to extract what they need, how do we, to the best of our ability, make this work easy for things on the internet? That is the concept of big data. So people specialize there, and they're able to understand how, not just how databases work, but everything they need to do in order to help things on the internet become intelligent. All right. So after big data, there is this other concept of machine learning. That is self-explanatory. We're talking about things on the internet. Let us call things on the internet machine now, from now on. So we're talking about these machines on the internet, and then we are saying they have access to big data. How are they going to learn what to do? How, for example, to understand my tune and know that this is my accent, everything about me, tune, accent, everything, to know that this is Aki speaking. That when I should be saying internet, I'm saying internet, and they understand that even though I'm speaking it's a different accent, they still understand that I'm talking about the same thing. All right. How do we make machine understand this? This is machine learning. So you see the machine as a child, a dummy, not even child. Child is still intelligent to some level. A complete dummy that does not know anything. How do you now begin to teach machine that when I raise my right hand, this is what I mean? In my culture, when I bow or do this, it means that somebody's in front of me. You know, how do you begin to explain? How do you begin to help machine learn everything from scratch? A child will learn from scratch naturally by growing in that environment and learning the culture. You don't even, it will just, but machine is not even a human being. How do you do it? It's going to be tedious. It's so much work. So again, this is the part that we call machine learning, helping the machine via coding, via programming, and via everything, to understand that this is this, this is this, this is what you do. When I say this is what I mean. When I do this is what I mean. When you see the robot, the humanoid robot that is in the form almost like a human. In fact, it's human. That's why it's called humanoid robot. Her name is Sophia. Smiling, grinning, giving different expressions. How did they learn all of that? Through machine learning, the aspect of IT called machine learning. So people specialize in machine learning, teaching machines how to become human, kind of human in quotes. All right. The machines are taught to access, analyze, extract information from data via field of IT known as machine learning. Machine learning. All right. The way to go. Artificial intelligence, AI. All right. So if machine learns and they are now able to access big data, and it means that they're intelligent. They are now intelligent. They have learned, they can access big data, and they know what to do under varying and different circumstances to respond to different situations. You can ask questions, they will give you reply. You can say, go do this. In fact, the time is coming, if it's not already here, when machines in form of robots can go to the kitchen and prepare your meal. What level of intelligence could be higher than that? However, to distinguish this kind of intelligence, where you had to teach them through big data, through machine learning, and through all the other technologies, to distinguish that from natural intelligence, we call this kind of intelligence artificial intelligence. So it's basically the combination of machine learning, working with big data, working with Internet of Things, working with everything we've discussed so far, to give birth to this kind of intelligence. Intelligence simply means you can do things by yourself. You know what to do under a given situation to rectify whatever issue you are facing at that time. You are intelligent enough. You don't need somebody to come and tell you, get out of the rain, it's raining. No, you know, it's raining. I have to get out of the rain now. That's intelligence. A machine will know how to do that if you already taught the machine to do that via machine learning. And of course, you already imagine that the machine I'm talking about now are not computers and laptops anymore. I'm talking about cars. I'm talking about robots. I'm talking about especially robots. Robots have been made in form of human and asked to go clear my lawn, go do this, go wash. You would do them intelligently because they learn. Because that intelligence is not natural. All of that is classified under artificial intelligence. And like we said, like we've already seen, AI is developed via machine learning and access to big data. So all of these steps, they go together. They are really not very, they're not really separated. And then there is another term called blockchain technology. Even though you know this is, this is a common language with Bitcoin, but actually it's a technology. It's not the Bitcoin thing. It's a technology. And the meaning of this technology simply means that, okay, let's go back to our machine. Suppose the data, the big data that the machine relies on for its intelligence. I mean, just like human, suppose the place where the human mind relies on to draw intelligence, I have a problem, you sit by yourself and you converse with your inner or with your, somehow you are lifted above that realm of that problem to, and then you get this, this is what I'm going to do. This is how these people that invent this is how they get their solution. They are not all the time ordinary people like us. They need to withdraw and move to higher realm and then have access to information and solutions and data that they did not have access to at the lower realm. And then they can bring that solution down and implement first time error, second time error. They do it persistently. Ultimately, they come up with a solution. Now, in the case of machine, this big data, this central server that you have prepared in cloud, where they always access intelligence from. Suppose something happens to that server and they are not able to access that intelligence for even 5 minutes. The whole world is going to crumble if the world depends on them. The world will crumble if for 5 minutes machines are confused, robots are confused, they don't know what to do because the place they should, because their own God, so to speak, was dead temporarily. So the solution to that kind of problem would be blockchain technology. Blockchain technology simply means that you are decentralizing your data, your big data. That server where you put your big data that every machine should queue up to access, you are not making it central. You are decentralizing it. You are replicating it as not just replication. This is not replication. This is not replication. The way you would go to your driver's license office to say validate, find out. I mean, you don't need to go physically. You can find out online. Is this driver's license valid? You now have that driver's license office repeated across many computers so that it is no longer a case of the driver license office website is down, therefore you were not able to authenticate. And then you were not able to know what to do. By blockchain technology and by decentralization of that data, it is now available in thousands of computers across the world. So the idea of one computer is down, one server is down, therefore I'm not able to authenticate you. I'm not able to open the gate for my owner to let him in because the server that holds the authentication is down. That will not happen if we deploy blockchain technology on top our big data, on top now, actually on the foundation of our big data, of our artificial intelligence, of our machine learning, blockchain technology will remove the decentralization, and it now makes it possible for machines to have access, not just ordinary access, authenticated and genuine access to the same data consistently. So even if the whole America goes down, because this thing is for lack of better word, let me just use the replicated. But it's deeper than replication. Deeper replication, okay, let me not go into the detail. But it just means that because that data is not available at just one point, but at several points at any point in time, one point going down will not affect the processing. And that is why blockchain is one of the highest. Everything we are discussing right now, these technologies, they are all the highest paying kinds of IT technologies in vogue as of 2020, 2021 and beyond. And blockchain is almost like the number one of them. Right? Blockchain technology. Whether you now deploy that blockchain technology to do Bitcoin or to do anything else, it's a different thing. But the technology itself basically means decentralization of data and information. In this case, our data is our warehouse. Of course, you already know what data centers are. Data centers are the physical buildings and the infrastructure that hold all of these things, all the servers we are talking about, even the blockchain we are talking about. Are they servers that you create in your enterprise? No, they are resident somewhere. They are already provided physically somewhere. So those places where they are provided, buildings, the electricity, the cabling, the servers, all the infrastructure that are already provided that you don't have to buy by yourself, already provided somewhere. That place where they are provided is data center. So data center engineering and data center related services is the way is specialization within this whole concept of ICT. All right, closely related to that, we have cloud services and cloud computing. All right, so it simply means that the infrastructure that is available in data center can now be accessed and used by people, users, customers all across the globe via cloud services. You already know that. So cloud services makes the infrastructure in data center available to you so that you can now use them to do machine learning for your machine, artificial intelligence, whatever it is that you want to use them to do, whether you want to use them to do develop applications or to architect an environment where another person will develop applications, because all of these things are different areas of specialization. One person cannot be expert in all of them. Even 15 lifetimes, you come to this world over and over and over, you'll not be able to learn all of them. So there are different areas of specializations. So depending on what you have chosen to specialize in, so whatever you are doing, we tend to do cloud services will make the infrastructure of data center available to you to do exactly that. And then there is another term called 5G that is closely related to all of this. So if we see that robots and cars and other stuff would need to go online, it means that to access that kind of data we're talking about, they need expressway to be able to run to the data, get what they want, and come back to themselves and be able to provide the solution, the answer. All right? The bandwidth is the road through which data moves away from the machine, not away, from the machine to the data is called uplink. And then after they analyze the data and get the result that they want, and then they bring back that particular result that they want to bring to themselves, then from the data back to the machine. That is called downlink. So bandwidth is the term for measuring how big or how small that path, that road is. So 4G, as we are currently using it, can provide around 2 megabits per second uplink and about 10 megabits per second downlink. Is it the kind of bandwidth you want to use for cars to be communicating on expressway? For robots to be communicating? No, this is small. It's too small. It's too small. You remember how I emphasize using different language, how big those data are? Those data, they are not small data. So if you want to be able to turn around terabytes of data within 1 second and be able to extract what you want and come back to yourself and I'm using you now, the machine. You are not machines though. Then you need plenty of bandwidth to be able to do that. 4G will do in 1 hour what a higher bandwidth availability, what you actually want to do within 5 seconds. So 4G is going to go away and bigger routes, bigger paths, bigger bandwidths are going to come. And those bandwidths will be the next after 4G. What's the best name to call them? After 4, what's the next number? 5G is the name to call them. So these 5G bandwidths will be provided through your existing GSM links instead of your phone connecting to your GSM, for example, network using 4G or even 3G. They'll be connecting at speeds up to 100. In practice, maybe not really 100, but at least they will be in gigabits per second instead of the former megabits per second. So that means that what that one would have downloaded in 10 minutes, this one will download in just 1 second, for example. And when that happens, it means that you are now able to access, analyze, because everything is about data. That data, I'm able to take a decision and know that, okay, based on this, where I am now, I quickly contacted the global GPS, I've contacted the satellite, I know my coordinates right now, I know that based on this information, I should take my left, and then the car will know that the right way to go. No, the car has no eyes. You are the person seeing. He has no eyes. His own eyes, its own eyes is the data. And it's able to analyze that data to say, okay, the only way to go to avoid this water, this ocean in front of me is to go left, and then it goes left. Can you imagine the speed with which you want that decision taken so that the car does not run into the sea, into the water in front of it? So that kind of bandwidth cannot be provided by 4G. It has to be provided by something higher. The higher thing will be 5G. And 5G will be able to provide this kind of high bandwidth. Only 15 years ago, to get an E1 is the equivalent of 2 gigabits per second bandwidth, would be like, I've gotten an E1, I won a lot. It's a big deal. But now we are saying that ordinary mobile phone, just your own connection to your network, not even, and that's even at the access layer. We're not even talking about the distribution there, not the call layer. That one alone should be an E1. So with that one, we are now able to do a lot of things that we were not able to do with 4G, especially as it relates to Internet of Things, data, big data, machine learning, and everything we've discussed. So 5G will play a major role. Without 5G, all of this will not really play out well, because if you should be getting results in 1 second and you are getting results in 5 minutes, you will not really appreciate the work. All right. So understand what 5G is. And all of this, 5G, IoT, everything would now work together to produce a new kind of economy called the gig economy. By the gig economy, we simply means an economy that is moving away from physical buildings, from brick and mortar to their cyber equivalent. So everything is now represented by application. Everything is now now has an application equivalent. By that, I mean, you know what Uber does? Uber is an application. Now, there are hundreds of applications that work just like Uber. All you need is for the application to be on your device, whether your phone or, and this is now providing enormous opportunity for people, especially in the Western world and in US in particular. So these days, people would not need to, people can become millionaires not by going to work on a daily basis, but by just using the application equivalent of that work to work from their home. All right. So the gig economy now is no longer about physical stores and shopping malls. It's now about online shops, not just online. Online might just be restricted to the limitations. Oh, there's a website, go and do. No, this is much deeper from what we have explained so far. This is about intelligence. This is about artificial intelligence. This is about things happening almost automatically on their own in a different world. So rather than talk about real estate, we find ourselves talking now more about online estate, about applications, about things are just happening. Things are just happening. Things are just happening. The applications and different kinds of applications. I can't even begin to list them, unless that's a topic for a different day. That you can just wake up and sit in your bedroom, and then by the time you are going out, I know people who, by the time we say good morning, how are you today? They had already made like $700, $600 right in their bedroom before they set out to go to work. That is what we call the gig economy. Just working on applications that have been developed on all of this around the technologies that you have explained so far. And then whether you are doing, and don't ask me what are these things that you can do, I will not tell you. So whatever it is you are doing, you can now make so much money online. But that online is not even the real thing. The real thing is the gig economy based on this technology. Online is an ordinary word compared to the intelligence that goes with the gig economy, that is put on the gig economy. So even if you must go out to do work, it is because you've already seen the work on some app. So you are going out to work because, in fact, sometimes you are even already paid to do the work on the app before you even go out to do it. So it's not like, it's a different kind of economy, different from the normal, okay, I'm going to shop today to open my shop, and then you could stay a whole day and nobody comes to knock to say, I want to buy something. You go out all day, you come back after 8, 9, 10 hours, spending so much time in traffic, and you have not made one kobo. That's the old economy. The gig economy, you will make all of that money even when you have not even brushed it. You have not brushed your money, you have not even fully. That kind of using the applications built around IoT, big data, AI, ML, to make the world a better place, especially financially. That is what we refer to as the gig economy. And we are in the era of the gig economy. This is the gig economy. The era of industrial revolution is all gone with the 30s, with the 40s, with the 50s. Even the order of the era of after industrial revolution, we had internet, the one we call online, the internet revolution, where everything became online. That is gone. It's going very fast. The era where we are in now is the gig economy, and people are really making. It's much easier now to make the number of millionaires that you will make under gig, an economy can produce under gig economy is more than 10 times what they produced under the data, the digital economy. That's what it's called. The era of Google, even Google and all the big names now, they are even now rely on gig economy. You can work and be Google without actually having to go to Google building in Silicon Valley. All right. So I'm just trying to emphasize that gig economy is different from the digital economy like you knew it. All right. So to be part of all of this, of course, you are starting well by being solutions architect, by understanding these things from scratch. On top of that, you may want to pursue application development. And then there are kits called software development kits. To be applications, to specialize in applications development, if that's where you choose, then you have to learn one of many SDKs. Examples of SDKs are Java, .NET, Python. Python is a very popular one. Ruby, PHP. It's a long list. That I mentioned this does not mean that these are just the ones that I remember. It's a long list, but these are the popular ones. Okay, Java is there, PHP is there, Python is there. These are the very popular ones. All right. So if you want to go beyond architecting solutions, analyzing business, and all the other ones, to actually go ahead to become part of the people that build solutions on that architecture, then you'd have to specialize in some SDKs, one or two or more of this. All right. So if you want to be a developer for any of these specialization tech that we'll be talking about since, then you would have to learn one or more of these after you have understood architecting. Remember the difference between architecting and development? This is at the development level. Okay, like I already said, these new technologies, everything culminating in the gig economy is creating opportunities, creating so much opportunities everywhere, especially in the developed world. All right. First, it was the industrial revolution. Then we have the digital revolution. Now we are in the era of gig. And you, as IT specialists, would be the people preparing the architecture, the services, the applications on which this gig economy thrives. All right. So the tech giants around the world, the 5 biggest tech giants would be Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Facebook. These are the tech giants. There are many more, but these are the 5. Between these 5, they have created, I think as of today, about $7 trillion much of wealth for the world. Okay? Each person, the owner of Apple by itself, the owner of Amazon, the owner of Google, is not, their worth is in the neighborhood of $200 billion. Okay, Amazon owner, even though Amazon is worth $2 trillion, the owner of Jeff Bezos is worth only 200. Out of 2 trillion, he's worth 200 billion. What about the remaining 800? The remaining 800 billion is available. Mute yourselves, please. It's available to the entire world. Mute yourselves. How would somebody do that? How would you interrupt my normal flow now just by that? All right. So the UK is phasing out petrol and diesel cars by 2020, 2030. It's already there as part. It's already a law there. So 2030, there'll be no longer petroleum cars. So where are they looking? They are looking in the direction of course, if it's not petroleum, if it's not petrol and diesel, what else will it be? All right. So this is the direction the world is going. Elon Musk is launching taxis into space. It already started, but hopefully it matures in another 10 years. COVID-19 has presented remote work as the preferred option to work. So what am I saying? That everything is changing so fast. in response to developments around the gig economy. Okay, so between these giant companies, between these tech giants, I was saying that over $7 trillion, because they are the leaders, they are in front. These tech giants are the world leaders today. They are in front. So this money is big at the head, but we as IT people, we're on that trail, whether we are very close behind them or we are far away behind them, somehow part of this money is available to us to make, whether as direct contractors, whether as a contractor to somebody who's a contractor to them, whether as a mere worker, as of somebody who is house help to somebody who is a major person to somebody at the 20th level. We are still part of that long trail, and some of this money is available as long as you are in IT. Whether you know it or you don't know it, as long as you are working in IT, you are working maybe not directly, maybe not even directly on the 20th level, but somehow, you are on the trail and therefore benefiting in this much wealth that these people have created by their creativity. Recently, I saw a post of the Amazon guy saying Amazon is worth $2 trillion, but I am worth 170, about $180 billion. So where's the rest money? That was where I got this idea from. Where's the remaining $800 billion? So where do you think that money is? The money is there for other people to make as contract. In fact, other people have made it. It has made other people rich by $800 billion, because out of that, his worth is only about 2%, 20%. So it's up to you if you want to be part of the people that one way or the other, by learning the right technologies, whether you want to work for yourself or for somebody, whatever you decide to do, you may not even know now. All you know now is, all you might be able to tell now is that there is so much opportunity in IT. There is so much you can do if you learn the right technology. So this is the overview, and it's up to you to answer the question, where is your place in all of this? You want to attach yourself to IoT, to ML, it's up to you. These are the opportunities. All right. So, and the good thing is most of you have already started. So it's not just you starting today. You've already started. And then, of course, it's a good way to start by being an item. As much as you may think that you are learning, compared to what there is to learn, you are actually only just learning to crawl. Okay? You see that we haven't even mentioned Windows administration in any of this at all, because we are looking at the big picture and seeing how you fit. But even then, Windows administration, Linux, these are still great ways to start. But in all of that, compared to what is ahead of you, you are just learning to crawl. At some point, you would learn enough, be mature enough, become strong enough to begin to work. And at that point, all the effort that you are putting in now to learn will begin to materialize, begin to come to bear. Hopefully, you get to run and even to fly. But even if you don't fly like the people in front, the Amazons and the Facebook and all of that, just being on that trail is enough. And what happens from there, you cannot see. Do your part at this level. All right. So first thing and all that matters is to start. And like I said, most of you, I see 1 or 2 persons here that are allowed in that are not part of us. But most of you have already started just by being items. All right. So that is it about the presentation. Thank you. All right, so you can unmute yourselves now to ask questions. You can unmute yourselves to ask questions.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, sir. Okay. This is Herbert. Thank you very much for the presentation and letting us know that there is much more to get becoming a software and IT personnel. My question is, when it comes to developing, like you said, the SDKs that we need to at least learn one or two of them. Which of them will you say is easier to start as a beginner?
Easier, I don't know, but which of them is in hot demand that once you learn, I'm sure you'll get a job?
Okay.
Python.
Python, okay.
Yes.
What about the Node? I've heard of Node.js. What about Node?
Node.js. Node.js is, but you asked which one, so I cannot mention more than one. Python is the one.
Okay. Okay, so Python preferable to start that guarantees more opportunities out there.
Python preferable to start, yes.
Preferable Python.
You can learn Node.js on top of Python later, or Ruby on top of Python.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Yes. You see my video? I'm trying to bring up my video. I don't see my video. Do you see my video?
No, sir. I don't see any video.
We can see your word. You can see your PowerPoint, sir.
Oh, you can see my PowerPoint. Okay, already.
Yes.
All right. So I'll take your questions while I look for them. Any questions? Okay, I found my video. All right. All right, questions?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Motorola. And okay, so I was chatting with you. I just thought I would mention this again. The timing, God, this class is supposed to be like a practical class. It's supposed to be an interactive session. So if you're saying someone who is new to all of this to start by watching online video, I mean, the timing is not perfect for the working class people. So I don't know. You said that you've thought about it, you've worked with your team, other people have, but I mean, if you can just reconsider some of us, even today is a Sunday as a speaker, I'm in the office, but then it's better on the weekend than on a weekday, where you can't afford to do anything in the hours of 8 to 5 or 6 p.m. So I don't know if you just reconsider some of us and help us work something out. That would be awesome.
What timing would you consider convenient?
Thank you. Anytime from 6 p.m. will be perfect.
Okay. Okay. Anytime from 6 p.m. any day?
Any day. Anytime from 6 p.m. any day will be perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So would consider that. Yes, questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Motorola. All right. So contributions then, since there are no questions. Contributions. Contributions. Obafemi, contributions.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the lectures and the creative insights as to what the future holds for us.
All right.
And I would want us to be more of a constructive team, in the sense that I think in as much as yes, I have learned a whole lot from you, I think I've learned a lot too from the contributions of very intelligent colleagues that I'm privileged to be in the same class with. So I think for those who might be privy to maybe materials and etc. Yeah, I know the videos are supposed to help us prepare for these exams. But if there are ways in which other individuals feel we could prepare better, or stuff that could be helpful towards this IT journey, because the whole explanation you were giving, my head was just busting. Given where I was coming from 1 month ago. So yeah, I think if we would help each other a lot with info, opportunities, and etc. I think it will go a long way. Then to buttress the points Motorola just made mention of, one thing I noticed, I'm not saying the time must be shifted, because I think I saw for the periods I cannot be in class, I think I enjoy the recorded videos more, because I have the opportunity to go back and forth as often time I want to. Yeah, I'm not somebody that boots fast. I don't know whether I'm Pentium 2 or so. So I think, I was part of the people that were canvassing for shifting to 8 p.m. In Nigeria, but you see that I've dropped the whole mantle, because I think I'm kind of enjoying my ability to go back and forth at my own time. Yeah, sometimes I sleep off, then wake up in the midnight to now go through the videos when I could.
All right, interesting contribution.
So I think she could also sort that, because if for those, some of us might be on the road, even that 8 o'clock, we're not even sure of getting home. Sometimes we get home, we're already tired and fatigued. So if we're even physically in class, I might just be doing nothing or dozing off. So most times I don't even touch those videos. I just go to bed straight, then wake up maybe 1, 2 a.m. and start going through what I need to go through when my brain is sharp. So I'm sure it might not be convenient for everybody. At the same time, you just find the best way. If we are looking for the best time when conditions will be perfect for us, then we would not do anything in this life. So I think the inconveniences are things that we just have to manage one way or the other. Especially in this part of the world, Nigeria is not the normal country at all. So we'll survive. So please, let's just have a picture that material-wise, when it's time for, I don't know how often they write these certification exams. Is it monthly or every 3 months or every 6 months? Or it's whenever you're ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emmanuel. All right. Abiodun, are you there? All right. Contributions?
Wow. Good morning, sir.
How long did that presentation last? Good time. Yeah, Bafemi.
Good morning, sir. I want to begin by thanking you, sir, for this opportunity. Not this presentation opportunity. I mean, the whole career path as a cloud engineer, DevOps opportunity.
All right.
So this consideration for me started in the beginning of the year, especially when the pandemic struck. So some of my colleagues were actually followed, and I started thinking, it could have been you, it could have been anybody. So at that point, I knew I just needed another skill that will not be dependent on if anybody likes your face or does not. So I had two in mind: cloud engineering and data analytics or data engineering, as it may be. So I started data analytics at some point. The tutor wasn't coming forth, and I think the COVID issue affected him as well. So the class ended abruptly. I didn't know how Purview, it's a company in Nigeria, but they have the backing of IBM Digital, located my contact. I guess it must have been because of my affiliation with the other data analytics class. And they sent me a message, a design just like IPAN, but rather than being towards cloud engineering DevOps, it's towards data analytics and then data engineering. So yesterday I sat in their Zoom meeting for 2 hours.
Wow.
And I was just smiling. Because everything they were saying, they end up making reference to cloud engineering, DevOps. cloud engineering, DevOps. I wish I had done my 6 months. I wanted to raise up my hand during the meeting and say, wait, me, I'm a cloud engineer. So that is what you're saying. Just put me in your team straight away and let me start to function. But it was kind of a joy for me that, okay, boy, you are in the right path. You are in the right path. So as a form of introduction, I should also thank you again, sir, for this opportunity. Now, I know the moment that that first person that started question asked which of the languages would you have recommended, I just knew Python. That is what is in the industry right now. So going forward from his question, I would like to ask, between AWS and Microsoft Azure, which one will you say as for your items, which one do we pursue first? Yeah, I know you've said they are similar, but which one will you say we should pursue first? That's my first question. And my second question will be, yes, the opportunity is diverse. I myself have been looking on the internet and I've shared with some colleagues things I've found as regards the prospects, the opportunities, both internally, I mean, within Nigeria and the international scene now. But how do you see the prospects in Nigeria? How do you see the prospects in Nigeria, and how do you see it compared to developed countries like US, Australia, China? So we begin to prepare our mind for those of us that are open to relocation. So I think we should begin with this too, because as you were lecturing us, I was writing down stuff and places I would need clarification. Thank you, sir.
Awesome, Obafemi. Appreciate that. Okay, so between Amazon and it will be AWS. I recommend AWS first, and then you can build on. You can build them. For global market, AWS has 33% of the market, and then Microsoft Azure has about 16% of the market, and then Google Cloud has about 7%. So mute yourself, please, if you're not talking. So because we are looking at the people in front, we are going to be our employers. We want to look at the market first before we come back and come back into our own room and then adjust what we do for ourselves according to the market needs. So it is based on that I recommend AWS being the global market leader. As of today, it will be overtaken tomorrow, but as of today, they are the market leader. So if you are not studying just for Nigeria, you are studying for the global market, AWS first, and then you can develop others. But I hear, unfortunately, no, not unfortunately, I hear the contrary, that Microsoft Azure is a more major player in Nigeria than AWS. So for Nigerian market, definitely it will be Azure. I teach with AWS, and I've tried to go learn. It's not really learning, try to acclimatize to MS Azure, but I'm so already used to AWS. It's difficult for me now to go. I have so much I really still want to do with AWS. So for me as a person, it's really difficult for me to combine the two. I really want to focus on AWS. If I must do Azure, then maybe I just look for another trainer to take it. I don't see myself being an expert in this and also trying to learn. All right, so that's that. For global market, AWS. For local market, MS. All right, then what was the first question? Python, say something about Python and don't remember
the second is the prospects in Nigeria.
Yeah, I've already answered that. Prospect will be more in the line of of MS as well, yeah. Okay. If you mean opportunities, but if you mean remuneration and the ease to get work, yeah, it's really easier to get work in Nigeria. But of course, the pay is not the same. The pay is not the same at all.
Who even wants to earn Naira again?
So it's really dependent on what you want to earn. The pay is not the same. So I'm not sure.
Take it easy.
So if you are doing 400K, which will be what I guess is a good salary for this position per month, with this, 400K on the average. If you are experienced, maybe higher. How much is 400K in dollars? $1,000? Less than $1,000.
Less than
$1,000.
And your mouth will be sharp because I know you get dollars every week. So you know the amount. So
Hello.
I mean,
Hello, sir.
That will not pay anything in here, but over there is big money. Yeah, $1,000 is. I've not even started.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Suleiman, we are still answering. We are coming.
Oh,
let me finish
sorry,
with Obafemi. So that's it, Obafemi.
Thank you, sir. I will allow other persons before I continue with the question.
All right, Suleiman.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for the journey so far.
Sorry, please. I raised my hands up because I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay. Please, Suleiman, please. Somebody have been raising hands since. Let's quickly attend to him.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, evening.
My name is Akim. I am currently working in an IT company, but one of the Nigerian banks. But I won't lie to you, based on my job role and the people I work with, I work in a bank. So I come into IT with the expectation. My expectation is that I will get one or two things. I work in IT service management, like admin side in a bank. So all the IT technicians, like we work together or something like that. I know how those guys feels when compared to how they compare them with other units, like the application development, things like that. And even me, my relationship with my boss is not that cordial. So I get a lot of things that doesn't really worth it. You understand? So as a result of that, though I'm somebody that is security inclined, so I'm looking at. So when I see your post, so me, I'm looking at doing a kind of cloud security. I'm not one of your students yet, so I intend maybe January. So that's why when I see this opportunity as a Zoom meet, I say let me just join. So me, I'm looking at an angle of cloud environment with security inclined. Since security has been my major interest. I've done certified school hacking. I've done that exam, so I'm just learning some tips. So I'm now saying that if I come in to your program in January, so number one, what do I intend gaining? Because number one is, I won't lie to you, I've been frustrated up to an extent that I told my wife one day that let me just acquire the necessary knowledge I need to get and let me get out. Because for over 5 years, no promotion. And secondly, I want to have a kind of knowledge that once I gained it, I should be open to maybe relocation or elsewhere. Because the simple truth is, I need to leave my present job, but I can't just leave without having things to work with. So those are my questions.
What exactly is the question now? You talked about.
Okay, my question. Okay. My question is number one. If I start your program in January, telling you my this thing, what will I intend gaining? Now, relocation is my number one target. Starting something on my own, as in getting job maybe from small, is on my own. So those are my two key things. Two questions.
Have you seen our brochure?
Just to do my background. Yes, I've seen your brochure. I've seen it.
It's already what you gain is already explained there. And one or two of my trainees have spoken. Did you just join? Emmanuel spoke, and then Obafemi spoke. So you've heard from the trainees themselves. So I'm not sure how to really market to you what you will gain other than what you pay your colleagues. Just take a look at the brochure, and then you will see what you intend to gain. If you want to specialize in security, it's too early to specialize now. Just learn, just follow develop enough foundation on which you can build anything. Everything comes with security. Don't be deceived by the big names about security. Security is part of everything that you do. So whether you call it cyber security or you call it hacking, it's just one tiny addition that you learn on top of what. Okay, Obafemi's example is a perfect situation where a coursework was called a different nomenclature, given an entirely different name, but he found out after 2 hours of listening that fundamentally is basically the same thing. I have at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 people doing cybersecurity course here at master's level. Some of the things I do in class are some of the assignments that they share with me. So even though they are doing cybersecurity at master's level, what you are learning now is what they are learning. So they call it cybersecurity, and that person will call it different, but fundamentally it's the same cloud. The same access control list, the same things you'll be configuring later. The same thing they are doing. It's just that maybe it's a 2-year program here, costing like $35,000. They are going on student loan. So they get student loan of about $50,000 or so. Anyway, the only difference might just be that at the second level, at the second year, because they are done with the first year now, and everything they do, we have already done. At the second year, I expect that they will just do 1 or 2 courses that are outside what we are doing. And I'm following them. I'll still get the course outline for those ones and still incorporate it here. So it's not about the name that course is called. It's about what you really know.
Okay. Thank you very much. So when are we starting in January?
January
And
5.
the means of payment. January 5.
Yeah, everything's already explained in the brochure. How much to pay, where to pay, what to pay.
I know it's $55. That's I read that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right.
and the payment.
Preferably pay with your Naira card so that you are charged official rates. It's even cheaper for you actually. You are charged the official rate of $. Pay with your Naira card. The link to pay with is there. Just click that link. It will take you to the site where you enter.
Okay. And based on what one of the participants talked about the timing. So I would so much appreciate if you can work on the timing. Like me, weekend is free for me, and evening from 8 p.m. So I would like to know when you finally arrange so that I can suit myself towards that.
I don't know yet. I still stick with the existing time, but when we resume and I see we seek everybody's opinion, we'll see if we can adjust. So right now we're still discussing it. You're not even my trainee. So when you pay and we actually resume on the first day and we'll talk about this, we'll see if it's necessary to adjust timing.
Okay. So you have an existing class already, or you have not started at all?
Most of the people here, they are my class, they are my trainees.
Okay. So January 5th will be new. Okay, so January 5th will be the new batch.
Yeah, new batch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, so
hello, sir.
Well, with you now. Suleiman.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Suleiman, yeah.
Sorry, I'm having kata. I'm having copper kata.
No problem.
I would like to thank you very much because it has been a very good journey for me. So far, so good.
Okay.
I know in IT generally, this is my personal experience. When I was learning programming and all that, I wasn't having any mentors, so I was learning aimlessly like that. Mm-hmm. It took me time to really find my way.
Yeah.
So that was why when I saw your advert, I wasted no time. I was like, okay, I need somebody to mentor me here. Mm-hmm. Let me just dive in. So far so good. I've not regretted it, but I'm glad I did. And I want to advise the other guy that was asking about the programming language to start. I'll advise him to just go and learn Python. Python is very, very easy. It's like you are discussing English language. Mm-hmm. That's how Python programming language is. So it's very easy compared to others. We
Okay.
should go and learn Python programming language.
Awesome.
And
Who was that? I hope you got that. Who was that person? Anyway, continue. He would have gotten you.
Yeah, I understand. It was me. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And my question, sir, is there going to be cloud? Because you talk about certification on cloud. Apart from cloud, is there any other certifications?
You know, we don't just DevOps. Yes. You know, we recommend certifications according to what the industry is looking for. We don't just recommend certification because it's certification.
Okay.
So if you are looking for a position in cloud, the certification they will normally request.
Okay.
It's just that one.
Okay.
That's the real one. Unless you are not looking for a position in cloud. Maybe you want to work outside cloud. You want to work in an enterprise environment, for example. Then Linux will be a good certification. But if you want to work in cloud, they will not look at your Linux certification. Whatever you put on your resume as your Linux expertise will do. They'll be looking at your cloud certification as a newcomer. And then more importantly, after you have been allowed into the interview because of certification, do not interview you on jobs you have done as it relates to DevOps. So, yes, there is DevOps certification, but that's not the cloud certification will be more important for in considering you for the job than any other certification. Do you understand, Suleiman?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
There are certifications, but we can't just be jumping on them and recommending them all. Let's just focus on the real one that would open doors to the real thing.
Okay. Okay.
All right, good to know
Hello,
that. Good to share your experience in Python. That Python is not so difficult. Awesome. So now you know who to go to when you have Python problem.
Yes, so
yeah, Anne.
Good day.
Yes.
And first of all, let me talk about that Python aspect that people have been emphasizing on and all that. I will help beginners with an app that will teach you everything you need to know about any of the languages you want, both from beginning aspect to, in fact, to any of the stages you want.
Oh,
so I'll help with the app.
Okay.
Please say your name again.
Anne.
My name? My name is Anne. So that's one aside. So I want to thank you very much for this opportunity.
All right.
Like when I started, I was actually focusing on cybersecurity and all that. I even ended up starting a class all the way from Indian.
Okay.
I had a teacher all the way from Indian. Yeah. But when I saw your post on Instagram, I just knew that this is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. And it's making sense
that
so
aside,
far, right?
So yeah, very well.
Okay.
So about the interaction aspect, anybody that wants to ask any question, anything you want to know, I'm very open because I've done a lot of research and everything.
Okay.
So that is
That's
my
good.
contribution.
That's good. Thank you, Anne. Awesome.
Yeah, hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I wanted to say something. There was, as in part of being Neither startup, I've been given the privilege to have AWS cloud computing software. I've also been given IBM and also the Google Cloud. So I've had them since last year. I have them over 100K worth of free packages. But like I said, I don't really know how to use them. So I wanted to find out this particular training we're having is going to be able to help me to be able to use one of these services. And then again, going back, which of them, since I have both IBM, Google, and AWS, which of them do you think I should focus on in all of these services I have?
What exactly do you have of these three? You said you have what?
I have AWS. I have AWS starter pack. I have IBM.
What is starter pack?
That's the for founders. That's the cloud software that allows you to build machines, VM machines, and co. That takes you from, like the IBM takes me to GitHub when I open it, but I don't really know anything to do there in GitHub. But that's what I have, those services: AWS, the Google Cloud, and also IBM.
I don't know what starter pack is. Can somebody explain to me what starter pack is?
Okay. So what I'm saying is the AWS, because you mentioned different type of Google Cloud services. AWS is one. I have that. I also have the Google Cloud.
What do you have? What do you have? You are not that's why I'm not understanding you. Sanusi, do you understand what he's trying to say? What starter pack that he has? Abafemi, what starter pack?
All right, sir. Especially in corporate organizations, starter pack is like the set of tools if you are joining an organization that they give you. So in his own case, his starter packs are this cloud access.
Yes, exactly.
But I think he's saying he really doesn't know how to use them. So
of course, he has not gone through training. I just want to know what is. He's attaching so much importance to this starter pack. Is it just an account?
No, it's not. It has over. It allows you to do anything. It has over 100K worth of services. You can actually use that AWS up to 100K of dollars of services. I have on my AWS over 100K worth of.
You are excited about it because of what you are saying.
Because I know it's something. I have it over 1 year. I can't even use it.
Wait, man. Obafemi, what is that starter pack? Is this a regular account? Because I don't imagine what AWS will. They give you 1 year free account. That is normal. It's nothing special. Everybody who signs it have money. What else does it allow him to do? Obafemi, please.
Like he explained earlier, I have a company, a tech startup. So that is given to companies who are under ventures platform, all these accelerator programs. So it's quite different. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not really able to answer the exact question because I don't know what starter pack is. But basically, of these three,
it gets me crazy. So I don't really know what they can do. So maybe as I go along with your course, then maybe I'll be able to understand what they do. That's what I just want to find out.
Definitely. Once you do AWS is the only way I can help you. I don't know IBM. I don't do Google. And like I explained earlier on, even though I have access to all of them, I'd rather just focus on one because I've attempted to open the next man in hierarchy. MS. In fact, I have opened MS Azure, and I've played around a couple of times. I'm just not attracted to it. I'm just not attracted to it. I'm not saying it's just personal affinity. So I'm fine with AWS. So when you do AWS, you definitely will be able to use your starter pack. You'll be able to use it.
All right, perfect. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. If I can come in and probably address one or two concerns of our intending guys. So I have dig a lot down into this whole cloud and Linux training, and I can comfortably say that what we have learned so far has taken us beyond the entry level of any of these things. I'm not saying this just to hype engineer Akibo. I must say he has really put a lot in us. So while we were discussing, I just flipped my system and I opened two of the major sites that employs people, Canonical for international scenes, US and UK, and the main one Cable that needs more of these services in Africa and in Nigeria. And I remember I posted one of their interview questions on our WhatsApp page. And as at then, I was able to answer.
I don't hear you anymore. Awesome.
So who is offing his mic?
Okay, Bafemi. You're back now.
Hello. Can I go ahead, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the summary is that the person that wants to do security, cybersecurity, the guy with starter pack, I should tell you, beating my chest, that this is the course to do. Now, this is what I realized with the course. With this, your determination, it's enough drive, but not enough to get you through. You must also be willing to do your own practices and to connect with your guys. I've had to go behind the class to go and ask someone in the class, okay, so this part, to get explanation. People behind the class have had to come and meet me as well, this part explanation. And then I realized from these two traffics that either of us or all of us have gone after the class to rewatch the video and get a better understanding. And like I said earlier, all requirements I've seen on the employment portal, they are basic things that we have learned in class, and even beyond that. And we've just done 2 months. We have 4 months more. So if at 2 months, I'm able to answer 50% of the questions they are asking, I am beginning to wonder what my head will become after the remaining 4 months. So I should just ensure the intending joiners that this is actually the course for you to do. And if you need more clarification, okay, so you can ask some of us that are already into it later on. Thank God Anne has shown interest to even she has not even shared that information with us. She's already sharing with you guys that are just joining that she has the beginners program for Python. So it means you guys are in the right place. Okay, so my third question, sir, will be, can you shed a brief light on Kubernetes and OpenStack, sir? So it is another common thing I've seen in all the employment portals.
Yeah, that would be other DevOps.
They talked about
Kubernetes.
Oh, okay. So it means we've not gotten there.
No, we've not gotten there.
Oh, thank you very much. So that's why I said if after 2 months I have hired my colleagues who have learned too much, I can imagine what will happen in the next 4 months. Thank you, sir. That's my
yeah, it's good to know that you are relating it to.
Sir, I agree with everything Obafemi just said right now, because I'm doing like 3 different courses, even on cloud computing, cybersecurity, and when I find out that some of the things I even met, like we've even surpassed those places from the teaching here. Wow. So, sir, man, this is the best class so far.
Thank you.
That's so.
Awesome. Good to know. All right. Afid, are you saying something? Yeah, tokenhelps.com. All right, we'll see you. We are. Abiodun Shanusi, what's going on with you now? Were you muted? Ask on mute.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Good to hear from you. Good contributions. All right, so any more contributions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Hakim.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. At least I will speak with Obafemi after this program to learn more from me. And also in the training, I think because just I want to know that it's remote job that is raining now. I think it also be like how to get remote jobs while still working. It's possible that within 6 months job will come, and if they qualify, how to get those jobs. Maybe you can also add that to your training. How they can apply for remote jobs.
No, that's not my work now. I don't want to do anything just. Otherwise, you go and say, I promise you job. Obafemi, the canonical site that you mentioned, tell me about it. What did you say it does? Like this international job or something?
Okay, sir. So they are actually, it is owned by a South African, but they are in about 3 countries currently: South Africa, US, and then I think in UK, yes. And it's about $10 billion worth of company. Okay. They actually employ people to work remotely. You can work from where you are. Okay. And at the point of employment, they also ask you, are you open for international travel? So on their side, I'm on their side currently in their engineering section. They are looking for cloud. They have
lost you. We don't hear you anymore. Can you give me their site? Canonical what? Okay, so you see, you are not enjoying offshore anymore because this is your private internet now, it's not stable. All right, so Shanusi, you don't want us to hear your voice, right? Are you at work? Are you sure this is Shanusi? Or somebody just posted this picture? All right, Moyo already spoken. Uyo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay, nothing to contribute.
Actually, I do. I feel like, I'll probably just be repeating what Anne and Obafemi, including Suleiman, has said so far. But of course, I would also like to appreciate you for the opportunity. I remember when I was trying to take my first step, with so much fear, and trepidation. I didn't know, how I was going to fit into a new environment, especially since I had no, and I thought I spoke to you about it, the encouragement you gave, and you told me, oh, you just start with the class, start with the Windows class, and if you're able to pull through that, then IT will be for you, or you'd know if IT will be a good fit for you. And all I would say I had then was my determination and the beauty of all I heard you talk about. I just saw like, wow, is this actually possible? All of this, and here I am today. I'm done with my Windows class. I'm in Linux class now. And I'm already feeling like a pro, not like pro when I compared to some of my colleagues, but I feel extra, and I have felt that way since I started my Windows class. Like everybody in the house can tell, like my friends, anyway, my friends said I don't have that time anymore because of course I'm more busy now. My family can tell I'm really excited. I'm looking forward. I haven't gotten that job yet. Of course, that's the purpose for this training. I'm looking forward to seeing the beauty of all of this. I'm looking forward to seeing those opportunities, and then I won't even have to be the one to make my choices, to say, okay, this is the one I'll go for. Having companies call me and tell me, I'm trying to bargain, in foreign currencies with me. So I'm really excited. I'm so happy for the class. I'm happy for the kind of colleagues that I have, like, I don't know. I'm happy for the new friends I'm making. I'm happy that I know you, So I'm looking forward to AWS, the cloud engineering. I'm so looking forward to it. Like, if you could tell us that if Linux is the most difficult or the most challenging, so to say, of all of this, that means AWS is like almost a walkover. You mentioned that it's even easier than Windows. And I'm like, wow. So this is me, who is an IT person, like. Wow. So I feel extra. I feel like there is more to me than my BSc, just being a fashion designer. So I'm like a fashion designer and an IT engineer too. So that's like an extra for me. So I feel like a superwoman, and I have you to thank for that, of course. I thank you for every encouragement that you give during our classes. I thank you for each time the time you make out. Now this is over 2 hours. Usually our classes are no more than 2 hours, but countlessly you have gone out of your way. You go beyond 2 hours. You gave us time to contribute. You try to break things down for us. The post that you put, the post you give on the group, and the contributions, everybody on the group, even trying to like assist you, post a problem or a challenge. You have people who are willing, and some people go as far as calling you to ask, oh, how far have you done that stuff?
Wow.
This is like a new environment for me. So I'm like in a new place, and I'm meeting wonderful people, and we're all going places together. So I'm looking forward to that future when one day we'll have to like call you like, Engineer Aki, what do you want? Like I just sent you some pictures now. Which car do you want? Like, just make your choice. So the point is, we'll have you to thank for this. We're so grateful that you're sharing this knowledge with us, and you're doing it effortlessly, and you're trying to make sure that we go somewhere with this. You're even looking for more people. It's quite unfortunate that of the new group that we just created, we do not even have half of the people on that group here. So for the ones who are opportune to be here right now, they may not know anyway. I'm sure most of them, they know like, okay, they're going to get something, but what they think they know is just a tip of the iceberg of what they're going to get, by the time they follow or they go through the class. So one thing I've noticed that is going to push anybody through, that has been pushing a whole lot of us through, is determination, consistency, and of course, God's grace. So thank you once again, sir. I'm so grateful. I'm very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. That was an oration. Good, good, good. Yes, it started on the inside of you already, so it's going to expand from the inside to the outside. You definitely, I've said it before, you'd attract the kind of work that you truly, truly deserve.
Amen.
You attract it. I feel it already. All right. Good, good, good. Thank you so much, everyone. Obafemi, if you can hear you now, quickly give me that site. Let me.
Okay, sir. So it's obvious that I'm now on land because the network is not messing up compared to SADC network.
Yeah, so, drop the link, sir.
Oh, he dropped the link, eh?
Yes, I pasted it on the chat, www.canonica.com/careers.
Okay.
And then even for our new guys or our intending guys, I'll just encourage you to go to the site, look at their requirements. You'll be encouraged. So I was sharing with someone in class, one of my colleagues in class, like you can imagine a site that is asking me, am I open to international travel? That what percentage of my available? And I was already answering them like, just see, I'm open to 101% in another international travel. Because I looked at their requirements. What I've learned so far, 70% I'm qualified. And it was there that I actually screen grabbed that question I posted on our forum like about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm like, these things are not difficult stuff. They are not difficult stuff. And I was also sharing with one of us that what people actually need in this life is the right information about where to put their energy and their resources and their money. I saw your training on Instagram, and the moment I saw it, I just knew, okay, this is what I've been looking for. So I only needed to go check to read about you, and I just knew that, okay, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And since then, in fact, I didn't want to begin to say this now. I think we even underpay you, because I have a friend in New Zealand that I was sharing with him. I said, Dimeji, see what I'm learning and see so far what I've learned. He was shocked. I mean, he was really shocked, like, for real, that if you're going to do that kind of course here, if you're not learning it from the university, you are paying a whole lot. And he said to me that once you finish, are you coming to New Zealand? I said, no, I want to go to other places that is close so that I can always. But the summary is opportunities abound a whole lot. So for that, again, for that cybersecurity person that wants to look for something to have before a fire is burst, I think you should just take your time to go through this course properly.
Sorry, Abafemi, sorry for the interruption. Please send me your number. I'll just send you a message, please. I'm the guy. Please.
just go through this course properly, and by the time you're done, I mean, if some of us can be this proud of ourselves at just 2 months, we are proud of ourselves. You can imagine after 4 months what we are going to be saying about this course. And already I've even had like 3 persons in line that I've told them, like, see, I know you and I, we are in the same situation. We are looking for security, but there's this thing I started. I didn't tell you earlier because I want to be sure of what I want to do. I don't want to bring people into what I can't beat my chest for. So I already told them, three of them, like, see, by January, just prepare your mind to start this course. I'm finding value, a lot of it there. So this is what I'll say to Miss Motunrayo, who is in that WhatsApp group of the new set of class. Please share the information. Like I said, what people don't have is information. Many persons are looking for what to do. They have the time now. They also have the money, but they don't want to guess. Like is it Usman that said that he was taking a course and then he really didn't have someone to hold his hands and show him. People don't want to guess. They don't want to throw money into the air. They want to do a course that is relevant to the generation we have now, and then that will make them also relevant ahead. And I should tell you, the whole world is going cloud internet now, IoT. So this course is actually the course to do for all of us. I know the guys in our class are silent because they already know the likes of Muyo. They already know what's up with this course. They are in the industry already. So, but the rest of us, that it is blowing our mind, I should tell you, it will blow your mind as well. All right. So you can connect on WhatsApp later on so that we don't disalign this class from its purpose. Thank you, sir.
All right. So awesome. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. I'm glad you had the opportunity to contribute. All right. So that's it for now. Today is Sunday. Classes continue on Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir. Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So we'll be posting this as usual. And then, of course, in December, we may have to make adjustments to timing and other stuff, but we'll take it step by step. And if we're going to have holidays and all that, we'll discuss them as we start the December class. All right. The slight adjustments to timing, but that's subject to discussions in class. All right, so that's it now. See you on Tuesday if there are no more questions.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Moya.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
I'm coming for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right. Moya, we did all the while. We didn't hear you. What about Sheung?
Yes, I was.
Sheung is not here. Okay, no problem. See you guys on Tuesday.
All right.
Bye.